Hi, Joel Rollins here for Rave Radio on day one of InfoComm 2016. Getting into the afternoon now, towards the point in time when they will allow beer on the floor. Anyway, I'm lucky enough to be sitting here with Bob Michaels, who's CEO of ZeeVee. Bob, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Joel.
Talk to us about, it was interesting when I was looking at your website a little earlier, and obviously ZeeVee is largely based around the distribution of video signals.
That's all we do.
Okay. Talk to us about what's new in that market and where ZeeVee is.
Okay, so there's plenty new in the market. You see here in this show, especially great change from last year where now there's a huge focus on IP. Right. Whereas last year there was somewhat of a focus on IP. We were still talking about that convergence of AV and IV and IP. It was going to happen. Even last year, a lot of going to happen. Now it's happened, right? As we like to say, the train has left the station. And for us, the train left the station actually about 18 months ago. Okay, because we got heavily involved in the IP sector about 18 months ago. We introduced our first product there. And we've been making we've made our first installation of a 4K system well over a year ago, right? So we feel that we're quite ahead of the curve there. So our original product was quite different. It was based on the Aptovision chip. Okay, it was a 4K uncompressed capability, and since then, now we have that capability. At the show here, we've shown now a 1 gig system, okay, so for people who don't need the highest quality level. And then we've also introduced just MPEG-4 encoder H.264 with the set-top box. Okay, and then also on our standard RF products now we have the ability to output IP on those as well, and we have another set-top box that can receive those signals. So besides
set-top box, could you use any of the MP4 software decoders?
Yes, you can.
Like, for me, favorite would be VLC.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Great. So it's a totally standard MP4.
Yeah, it's an H.264.
Great.
All right. Really, MPEG-4.
Now, something Bob was telling me earlier, and that I guess because I'm not in that market, I wasn't aware of, is that RF distribution is still growing.
Our RF distribution continues to grow at a pace that most companies would actually envy. Okay, and I'll tell you, at times it's startling to us how much it continues to grow, because the industry is moving towards IP for sure.
Right.
Okay, and people are looking at new technologies. Younger people are coming into the industry, and let's face it, a lot of people have forgotten about RF. Okay, but it's still the most efficient way to distribute video. It's the most cost-effective way to distribute video.
Multiple channels over a single coax.
135 HD channels. You want to put some SD in there into the mix, and you're probably looking at close to 300 channels. No distance limitation either, okay? You can attenuate and move on and on and on, miles and miles and miles. Unlimited number of TVs, and no hardware in any TV. So when you look at the cost of an installation, the cost of hardware, I mean, the cost-benefit factor is remarkable when you look at an RF system.
Sure. So what's new for you here at the show?
Several new things are here at the show. Number one, we have on the RF side, we're giving people much improved rack density, basically double the rack density. So now we can put out 24 HD channels or 72 SD channels out of a 3 RU chassis, okay, which is extremely small.
A lot smaller than I remember doing it back a decade ago, yeah?
Oh, certainly. So a lot less space, a lot less power usage. It's a commercial product, dual hot swappable redundant power supplies, hot swappable fans, and the ability to input just about any signal that there is, whether it be HDMI, DVI, HDSDI, component composite, VGA, and then output also both RF and IP out of that system. And it would be MPEG-2 on the IP stream. Okay. So on the RF side, that's all new. On the IP side, in addition to the Zyper products that we introduced last year that were purely fiber-based, now we have copper versions of those. Now we've added USB, we've added IR capability, and that's all 4K. That would be all on the uncompressed. Okay?
Right.
We are working on an HDR solution we'll have by the end of the year, but it's not quite ready yet. There's some slight compression required. But then in addition to that, we've introduced a 1 gigabyte system, okay, which is a 1080 system, network system that you could just use a standard 1 gigabyte network switch. And then we've also introduced the MPEG-4 encoder and what we call an MXE, which is our set-top box.
Since I've been out of that for a while, Has cost in something that flexible, has cost per channel gone up?
Cost per channel on the RF side has gone down significantly. I mean,
Really?
5 or 6 years ago was probably what, $5,000 a channel.
I was going to say I used to think 3,500 a channel.
Yeah, $4,000 a channel. And now for standard def, you're looking at maybe $150 a channel for 720p. And there is a differentiation there because sports is broadcast in 720p, and people don't need 1080,
Right.
and consequently don't think that they need to pay for 1080. So there's a slight difference in price. 720. $450 a channel, 1080 now about $550 a channel. Prices come way down. We've made it affordable.
Right.
I mean, I would say that ZeeVee, we have created this RF market. I mean, RF has been around for 125 years or
Yeah.
so, right? But when you look at a commercial market for the product or for the technology, ZeeVee is the company, we are the company that really has transformed that marketplace and actually made a market out of it. I mean, we have over 1 million displays worldwide powered by RF. It's remarkable.
How is ZeeVee marketed? I mean, through distributors or direct to dealers?
We sell primarily through distribution. However, we have a direct sales force that is out spending time with integrators and with end users, and the majority of their time actually is spent training, okay, is spent educating. It's not, everything is selling, of course, okay?
Sure.
But it's not specifically selling. We want to go out and we want to educate our market on best practices, on best capabilities, on most cost-efficient methods of distribution. And that's what we aim to do. That's what our sales and our technical resources that are in the public space do every single day.
I was actually telling my brother on the walk over here today that frankly, as the CEO of an integrator, I can make all the decisions I want on product, but what we actually wind up putting in are the ones our technicians are comfortable with, the ones that we're trained on, right? So training really is, I mean, yes, it's sales, but frankly, it's simply making them confident in the product.
And that's a big deal for us. You know, if I look at the philosophies of our company or the beliefs of our company, on the RF side, we set out to make the process simple, to take, as we say, the voodoo out of it, right? So that almost anybody can go in and be able to use it and not be afraid of it and get on to the next job, right? Because we feel it's our lot in life to make things more efficient and to allow you to grow your business, not by one job, but by having more jobs, more frequent jobs, and the ability to get in and get out, and of course, not have problems afterwards. So we've taken that same philosophy and applied it to IP, okay?
Right.
It doesn't need to be difficult, right? It should be easy. There doesn't need to be voodoo in it. You shouldn't have to have classes every single year to get your installers or your engineers certified and recertified. When you think of the hundreds of hours a year that are spent and the thousands of dollars a year that are spent by these integrators getting their technicians certified and recertified to be able to use a proprietary technology that is useful for that installation, perhaps, to me it's insane.
Talk to me about ZeeVee configuration, because when I was doing this portion of the industry, I can remember how hard it was to get RF distribution set up properly. We had technicians there with scopes, working on, I mean, all very analog adjustment. What's ZeeVee setup like?
Okay, so the setup right now is basically we have a web-based program, okay, a web-based interface that you can speak to any box, you can speak to any channel. So if, let's say, for example, you have a head end that has 50 channels. You need to connect for us with one box, and then you can go in, you can set the frequencies, you can set the names of the channels, you can set the channels, and, you know, in essence, that's pretty much all you need to do, okay? And once that's done, it's done. Right? Then you go to the TVs and you do a TV scan, and you're pretty much finished. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's really not much more complicated than that. One of the other things that we allow customers to do, for example, if you're in a sports bar and you have the DirecTV feeds, right, the NFL Sunday Ticket, once in a while some of those frequencies will change. Okay, once in a while that
Sure.
you know, they reset, and that used to require a truck roll,
Right, yeah.
right? And it requires a truck roll at the most inopportune times, the Super Bowl,
Always,
right? The World
yes.
Cup, whatever
yeah,
it
the
might
World
be.
Cup, yeah.
So what we've done in our software as well is now we can go in and we can take control of those set-top boxes, all right? So you don't need a truck roll. We can reset to the default. We can change the channel in the DirecTV box, right? And take care of that for the customer.
Wow. So let me get this right. Your RF systems are web-enabled for configuration?
Absolutely.
So if I have a client call in to say I'm not getting anything, I can actually remote into it?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's way different than it was in the past, because I always had a non-magnetic tweaker and the lid off everything.
No need.
That's great.
No need,
That's
yeah.
great. What's your booth number?
N735.
Great. That's excellent. I'm going to stop by and see this, because it really will be a big refresher for
Oh
me.
yeah, please do. Yeah,
Bob,
it's pretty cool.
thanks for being with
Hey,
us.
Thank you. Appreciate the time, Joel.